So in this particular lecture, this is for Algebra 2 regular and on. So we're going to learn how to solve radical equations and inequalities. Our first session will be just regular equations without inequalities, all right? So these are pretty much, we have three classic cases here. So I gave you the first case is when you're solving an equation, there's a square root with one radical in the equation. First one has one radical in the equation. The second one has two radicals. And then the third one is a cubic equation. Now, the thing is once you understand the gist of it, I don't care what I put here. I can put a cubic equation, a fourth degree equation, fifth degree, you can solve it. It's the same process, all right? So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna show you how to solve this equation. It's pretty simple. Simple stuff. I'm trying to find my blue marker. I guess I don't have one. I don't know where it went. Anyway, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna use the black one. All right, so the first thing you wanna do here is you wanna isolate you wanna make sure the radical is by itself and the numbers are on one side. Okay, you wanna isolate them. So basically, we're gonna subtract 4 on both sides of the equation. So now we have square root of x plus 2 equals to 3. Now you can solve this equation. The rest of the process is really simple. So I want to get rid of the radical. Okay, in the previous chapter, we talked about how to do that, right? So this is a square root, which is, I can kind of turn this into x plus 2 to the power of 1/2, all right? Equals to 3. So I want to show you what actually happens. So basically, you're trying to get rid of the exponent. So to get rid of the exponent 1/2, you need to multiply the 1/2 by what? 2. Or you need to raise this to the power of 2. But if you do one thing on one side of the equation, you have to repeat this process on the other side. So this is basically this square, all right? You're squaring this, all right? So when that happens, this eliminates the exponent, so you're left with just x plus 2, because 1/2 times 2 is just 1, and then 3 squared is 9, and now you just have a regular equation that you can solve by just subtracting 2 on both sides of the equation. So you subtract 2, you get x equals to 7, and you are pretty much done. Now, you can always double check to make sure this is right. So you can take this 7 and plug it into this equation to see if you're going to get the same result. So if you do square root of 7 plus 2, that's square root of 9, which is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. So yes, you checked it, this works, you're good to go. The next is, now you have square root equation with two radicals, okay? Two radicals, so you have a radical here and a radical here. So they are already isolated. So this is on this side, this is on this side. So all you have to do is square both sides of the equation. Okay, you're gonna square both sides. Okay, when that happens, again, this eliminates the radical. So you are left with x minus 2, 12. We saw that on the last problem, okay? And now here, you're gonna have to do the FOIL method, right? So you can go the traditional way, which is this times this. So that way you don't run into trouble, okay? So this is x minus 12. 2 and 2, that's 4. 2 and this is negative 2x. Negative root x times 2, this is negative 2 root x. And then negative root x times negative root x is negative root x squared, which is pretty much absolute value of x. Or for the sake of considering that these are positive, we're going to leave it at x, okay? So this is x minus 12 equals to 4 minus 4 root x minus x, all right? So now what you want to do is you want to repeat the process that you did here. So you want to put all the variables without the radical on one side. So I'm going to keep this on this side and I'm going to move everything that's on the other side, okay? So I'm going to subtract the 4 here, and I'm going to add an x, and I'm going to do the same thing here. Subtract 4 from this guy because this is going to cancel out, and add x here. So I get 2x minus 16 equals to negative 4 root x. And now, to solve this, I'm going to square both sides again because I want to get rid of the radical, right? I'm going to square both sides, so I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go like that. So that gives me 2x minus 16 squared equals to negative 4 root x squared. That is 16x, okay? You already know how to do that. Negative 4 times negative 4 is 16. Root x times root x is just x. And now we have to FOIL this guy, okay? Again, I'm gonna have to go and do this step by step. Oh my gosh, my eyes, something wrong with my eyes right now. Sorry. Anyway, I ran into a big problem. Bad teacher. We got a little problem here. I just realized what I did. I made a mistake. Colossal. Okay? Negative times a negative is a positive. So we should have a positive square root of x. So we change the whole dynamic of the equation. So we have that equals to 4 minus 4 root x plus x. It happens to the best of us, right? So I'm going to subtract the 4 here, subtract the next, subtract the next here, subtract the 4. This cancels out, so we get negative 16, right, equals to negative 4 root x, all right? So again, you can divide it by negative 4 on both sides. You have multiple options here. So you get 4 equals to root x. And then to solve it, again, we did the same thing that we're going to do here. I want to get rid of the square root of x, so I'm going to square both sides, right? So you get 16 is equal to x. And again, you can double check to make sure this is the right answer. So you're going to plug in the 16 here. 16 minus 12, that's square root of 4, which is 2. Plug in 16 here. This is 2 minus square root of 16 is 4. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. So we got a little bit of a problem. So this is not a good solution. I don't know what that is. I don't know what I did wrong. Did I do something wrong here? Probably, no, I did not. So there's no solution to this problem. So basically, because when you plug in the 6 here, you get a 16 minus 2, that is 16 minus 12, that's square root of 4, which is 2. And if you plug in the 16 here, you get 2 minus square root of 16, which is negative 2. So there's no solution to this problem. This problem has no solution, all right? Again, now the last one is the cubic function. Again, it's the same process. We're gonna isolate the numbers, okay? So I'm gonna add a 4 here. So I get 2 times 6x minus 3 to the 1/3 equals to 4, divided by 2. We get 6x minus 3 to the 1/3 equals to 2. And now, again, if I want to get rid of the cubic root, I need to raise this to the power of 3 because this is 1/3, right? And remember, when you do one thing on one side, you have to repeat it on the other side. So this cancels this out, so you're left with 6x minus 3 equals to 8. Add 3, you get 6x equals to 11. And then x is 11 over 6. Now you can plug it in and double check to make sure your answers are right. Now, so this process is really simple, all right? So again, you just have to make sure you isolate in the first case, you isolate the radical, numbers on one side, radicals on the other side. Because it's a square root, you square it to get rid of the radical. Here, you have 2 radicals, separate them, square them, and solve the process. Solve it using this process. And the last one, again, is a cubic root. You want to isolate again the radical and the numbers, and then because the cubic root, you raise it to the power of 3. If it's a 4th root, raise it to the 4. If it's a 5th root, raise it to the 5. If it's a 10th root, raise it to the 10. So the same process for each one of them. All right, so I hope this helps out. See you next time.